The youngest Wanderer ever to score a brace against Adelaide United. Knocked Kyra Cooney-Cross out of the record books. And Emily Gilnick for Brisbane has certainly found form of late. 4 goals this season, only trails Michelle Heyman by 2 in the Golden Boot race. Leads the W League with 35 shots already this season. She'll be one to watch tonight, the Matilda. So Casey Rybelt, tonight's referee, about to get things underway. Lena Karmas eager as ever to kick things off, the veteran striker. So away we go in Thursday night football. The Wanderers looking to get right on the front foot. The sun certainly streaming into our faces right now. Andy Harper, but this should be a good one.
Well, it certainly should. It's a beautiful evening. Was tipping towards being a little bit warm not that long ago, but it's cooled off beautifully. The sun is going to be a factor in the first half as it sets in the western sky.
Falkenhorn turned it over to Hunter. Brisbane were making hard work of playing out from the back. There's a bonus as the free kick goes against Tegan Collister.
Big night for the Wanderers. Haven't had much luck this season. Just the one win against the Jets. Have been competitive in most games, but then the return game against the Jets, they were, apart from a couple of moments when they had good periods in the game, they were pretty much otherwise outplayed by Newcastle. That was, however, speedy. The debut performance of Sarah Hunter, to whom you referred at kickoff, and she was, as a substitute on 75 minutes, very, very impressive in a beaten team.
Earned her the start last week, and she made the most of it with both goals in that 2-2 draw with Adelaide United. Just 17 years of age, and was playing games with the Future Matildas program when Dean Heffernan spotted her. Here's one for Gilnick to chase, and Willisey can come and claim her 3rd straight start for the Wanderers after Courtney Newbon was in goal to start the campaign. Gallup hunting her down there. Lovely touch from Collister. Hunter had it poked away. Izzy Dalton, one of the anchors in midfield for Brisbane. Falkenhorn along the deck for Gallup. There's Hecker, the Brazilian. And there's Yeomandale in that left-back role. Sliding in, won it well. All ball. Upended was Mariel Hecker, and the referee sided with the Brazilian there. Yeomandale can't believe it.
Yeah, great tackle. Very good referee. But Casey Rybelt got that one wrong, I reckon.
Yeomandale has been a regular in the commentary box, letting her feelings known about that decision. And by Cooper. And Karmas upended. Falkenhorn wondering what that whistle was about.
We look through the spine of this Wanderers team, Speedy, and is sitting second from bottom, but the spine is good enough and experienced enough to provide the necessary leadership. You start with Lena Karmas up front, Libby Copus-Brown in the middle, Caitlin Cooper across the defence, Yeomandale, Julianne Russell. There's enough to keep this together, and the youngsters can work their enthusiastic magic. A rare start, as you say, for Tegan Collister out in the right wing. She's got plenty of speed if she can get in behind the Brisbane defence. Jamila Rankin, another outstanding young prospect at left fullback for Brisbane, but that'll be a good contest, actually. The Wanderers can get the ball out to their right-hand side and in behind Rankin, make a turn and chase, and she'll find it difficult to catch Tegan Collister.
Contact on Winona Heatley, prompting the whistle this time. One of the 2 teenage fullbacks for the Brisbane Roar. Miller Rankin on the other side. Polkinghorne closing in on 150 W-League games. Across comes Yeoman Dale, getting the better of Hecker early on. Away by Copus Brown. The advantage was accruing for Karmas, but Hunter had been fouled. And they're going to leave it for Willisey. Got out of her comfort zone, left Adelaide behind. And probably would have been anticipating starting the season in goal, but had to bide her time behind Courtney Newbond, Sarah Willisey. Called up to the Matildas. One stage in 2019, sat on the bench in Adelaide and took plenty out of that experience.
It's a big week at the top of the table for the W League, Speedy. The other night, Sydney played Canberra 1v2.
Could have gotten awkward there for Yeoman Dale, but able to feed it back to Willisey.
And if there was any doubt about the bona fides of Sydney FC for this W League Championship, they was surely put to rest in that exchange. And then Brisbane tonight, part of that top three, and they bounce back on the weekend to play Sydney in another top of the table clash. I don't reckon Ante Urich will be sitting back thinking, right, strangely for a Sydney FC employee, cheering on the Wanderers, take off a bit of bark from some of these big name Brisbane players, and then we'll hit them when they're tired on the weekend.
As he hunts his 7th straight win to begin the campaign. It's coming up on Valentine's Day, one to look forward to in the W League. Sydney FC against the Brisbane Roar. They played in some big games down the years, those two. Here's Collister against young Rankin. To the byline she goes. Rankin dived in and goal kick given. Collister thought she may have been entitled to a corner.
There's the first chance we get to see. Left back versus right wing. It was a good contest. Collister just getting in front, but it was a wonderful sliding tackle from Rankin before Collister could execute the pass into the penalty area.
They're almost in a pickle, Brisbane, playing out from the back, but it might work out here. Just not into the stride of Gilnick. Yallop's pass. It's so much danger in that final third with all that experience internationally for Gilnick and Yallop. Karmas chesting it cleverly to an offside Hunter, and she knew it.
Unfortunate. And the pass, I mean, Tegan Collister did wonderfully well to cut inside. Very tight situation on that right touchline. The touch inside was good, evading the immediate defender. The pass in was overhit. To Karmas's feet would have been what the doctor ordered there, and Lena could have turned and attacked the back four. The touch as it was, as you called it, Brenton, was an outstanding one from Karmas. Unfortunately, Hunter had broken offside.
Great experience at the back. Cooper at one end, Carroll at the other. Both with their fair share of Matilda's caps in years gone by. Out of play by Danica Matos in that right back position for the Wanderers. Of Portuguese heritage. She is on Ronaldo and Portugal in all the major international tournaments. And she is getting involved again, winning a throw for her side this time. Right in front of our sideline reporter tonight, Victoria Slater.
Yeah, thanks, Speedy. Just something on the emergence of footballers out of big girl private schools. Young gun Sarah Hunter, who netted a brace last week, is in year 12 at Pymble Ladies College. Speaking to Dean Heffernan during the warm-ups, he said they joked as a group after the game that she would be the coolest kid in school on Monday, and she was actually disappointed with the draw and wanted a hat-trick. A few other superstars to emerge from PLC include cricket superstar Elise Perry and rising Sydney FC star Rachel Lowe. So hopefully we see more goals from Hunter tonight, gents.
Yeah, Sports Factory, Pymble Ladies College. And beautiful surrounds there on the north shore of Sydney.
But Tori's quite right in picking up that point. You know, in a game such as ours, which is played by so many kids with not a lot of resources to coach them, to have big institutional education institutions motivated to get their girls playing soccer. A huge advantage. And certainly in Hunter we've seen the very first starts and steps of a very talented player, and in Rachel Lowe at Sydney. Or put it this way, any other team in the league at the moment should be a starting 11 player.
Yeah.
Very hard for her to get in front of Polias, Claire Wheeler.
Hunter actually started out playing for Northbridge. Grew up in the Camaray region. Then went to the New South Wales Institute, onto the Future Matildas program. And here she is on the W League stage as a schoolgirl. Not the only one, of course. Only getting their chance and their break in their teenage years. As Willisey again, Yallop was closing her down. Strong header away by Rankin. Filling the boots of Carson Pickett in that left-back role this season. Pickett came here in consecutive years and scored the only goal in 1-0 wins at this venue against the Wanderers. I'm sure she tunes in and checks out all the highlights every week of her former club back in the US.
You'd hope so. There have been some big-name players from overseas coming into the W League. And Carson Pickett mightn't have the size of the name of some of them, but she's been the equal of all of them. A fantastic import. Played so well for Brisbane Roar. But her absence does give the chance for, in this case, Jamila Rankin. She's been playing this season, playing very, very well. Better every game. Beautiful left foot.
Here's Polkinghorne. Heatley cutting inside on the Irish international, Julianne Russell. Hecker not giving up here. Plenty of room as well. Got the benefit of the ricochet, but Yeomandale came again, and she slotted in nicely back in that fullback role.
It's a good recovery from Yeomandale. She got dragged into uncomfortable territory on the sideline in trying to win this ball, and Hecker cut inside and was away. But look at the power. 3 strides and Yeomandale's there. But a great athlete, Georgie Yeomandale. Along with the experience. It's the first season back after a rather lengthy spell from this level of competition, and she really hasn't missed a beat, Georgia.
During that spell, she went and saw some doctors who said, yeah, forget about playing football again. You'll be lucky to run 3Ks straight in the future. She went and found one doctor who said, how about I give you this cortisone injection, see how that goes. Shoved it in the ankle, right as rain, running around before she knew it. And here she is back after an 18-month absence from the game. Get a second and third opinion. The moral of the story there as Copus Brown clears. And Collister chases. A couple of former Jets in this Wanderers lineup. Collister's got speed. Easy read in the middle for Carroll. Copus Brown picks it up again. And looking for Karmas. That's some kind of ball. Lena Karmas has her first goal of the season. The veteran striker found beautifully by the Wanderers number 10. And Western Sydney, in a must-win game, are in front.
Well, 2 wonderful bits of work from Libby Copus-Brown. Firstly, to break open the field as she finds Karmas. Beautiful ball, good control, lovely finish. Look at Copus-Brown. This is Libby at her best. She's got great touch, a lovely passing range, and it all came to the fore there. But Speedy, this was just the second pass from Copus-Brown in this move. The one that really broke the field up was out to the right, and this was the challenge for Jamila Rankin. Can you foot it with Tegan Collister? Well, the cross was defended from Collister, but it fell to the feet of Libby Copus-Brown onto Karmas, and the finish was expert.
Lena Karmas, who scored for her country in a World Cup back in 2011. one of 5 goals for the Matildas. On target here for the first time in this campaign. Back come Brisbane immediately and earn a corner off Copus Brown.
Well, that's interesting again, because Georgie Yeoman-Dale, last time the ball went down to that part of the field, overcommitted on Hecker, and she hasn't learnt the lesson, because Hecker, on the very next time of asking, has cut inside Yeoman-Dale, who's overcommitted once more. She just needs to pull back a little bit, be more confident that she'll be able to run Hecker down if she gives her that extra bit of space.
In swinging corner, and Karmas in the right spot again. Let it go was the cry. Great read by Cooper. Here's another look at the offside potential there. I'm sure Brisbane fans would have been asking for a second look, but Karmas timed her run beautifully behind Polkinghorne.
Well, Polkinghorne does half-heartedly ask the question, but on the evidence we had there, I'd say it was one of those level and outside on the edge of the penalty box when the ball was hit by Copus Brown.
Now Yallop in the wide area. Gilnick in the middle. Willisey elects to punch. And that's a foul on the edge of the area, is it? Isabel Dalton finds Gilnick. Big chance for the equaliser. And just like that, Brisbane bounce back. And Emily Gilnick has 5 goals now this season. She's just one off the pace in the Golden Boot race.
Well, it's a good comeback from Brisbane. Really positive and lovely cross from Yallop. And Willisey commits but can't clear. Olivia Chance committed and does get the ball in for the shot to follow through. Ultimately, the ball ends up at the feet of the towering striker, Emily Gilnick. And it's a really, really good finish. No chance for Willisey. Lovely work from Izzy Dalton in combination with Olivia Chance to get the ball through to the Matildas striker. And we're back square.
And there she is, joint second with Tara Andrews on the Golden Boot race. Emily Gilnick, who's played for some clubs of great pedigree around the world, including Bayern Munich and Liverpool. Away by Aquino. He was behind Eliza Campbell at the Perth Glory, so when Brisbane came calling, she accepted the invitation to hopefully become a regular starter with the Raw. But Georgina Worth made a great fist of the #1 spot so far. But, out through injury tonight, Aquino gets her chance. Just 19 years of age and highly regarded back in WA.
Well, this is a great angle of the lack of chance that Sarah Willisey had to save that one. Caitlin Cooper at full stretch couldn't block the shot. Too powerful, Gilnick, and a good finish.
And at the start of the season, Gilnick and Karmas were maybe snatching at the chances a little more quicker than they did here tonight, but they settled on their chances and fired them into the top corner at both ends here. Brilliant finishing, and it's 1-1 inside the opening 20 minutes. Brisbane have won 8 of the past 9 between these teams. And at this venue, they're perfect. The aggregate 15-1. Another decent ball in that Polkinghorne read better than Karmas that time. Collister. And that time it's out off her. Well played by Rankin this time.
It was a nice turn from Collister and just couldn't follow it up. Interesting the way Dean Heffernan, the Wanderers coaches, tweaked the positioning of Libby Copus Brown. Here's the ball in, which was seen away. Nice turn in the end from Collister. He's got Libby Copus Brown now playing at the base of the midfield to start the attack, and I think it's a really good move. With Libby Copus Brown, in my opinion, she's either got to be at the base of the midfield starting the play, or playing upfield, creating the attacking options. She can do either. What I don't think suits is the best use of her ability is to have her playing in a midfield position which is up and down the field. And it was telling that she was so pivotal in the lead up to the Wanderers' goal.
Fantastic again by Yeomandale. No one to get on the end of that pass, though. Straight to Rankin. Cooper cuts that one out. Middleton trying to get into the game in midfield. Couldn't drag it away from Dalton. Because touch hasn't been as sure tonight as it has been throughout the season. The Brazilian with that futsal background.
This is low for the Wanderers, even though it's just a throw-in, but it clearly was played by Yeomandale off Hecker.
No one in the middle. Here's Chance, the New Zealand international. Seeing Tom Samani, a regular visitor to W-League games, checking on his Kiwis. Seemingly involved in just about every game. Saw him at the Monday night game, watching Paige Satchell play for Canberra United. And Liv Chance getting plenty of minutes here. Of course, Katrina Gorry with the news of the week in the W-League. Such wonderful news as well. Great to see the smile on her face. The expectant mother won't be playing again this W-League season. Cheering them on back home, no doubt, on this Sydney road trip as Gilnick delivers. Back post. Matos did enough. There's Fryer playing on that left wing. Just 19 years of age, another teenager getting their chance. The Hunter fan club finds their voice. Plenty of PLC students made the trip out to cheer on Hunter tonight, as they did on the weekend. Great run again by Collister. She's a powerhouse down that right-hand side. Cross just overhit, but showing great signs tonight, Tegan Collister.
Yeah, good drive again. It could be a real feature for the Wanderers, and they've targeted as much possession as they can into that part of the field, and Tegan's run them all down so far. That was a really effective run. Just ran out of numbers in the box as she delivered.
Came through the ranks at the North Shore Mariners before playing for the Newcastle Jets on 22 occasions. First season with the Wanderers. Hecker, nice idea. There was a bit of a channel there for Yallop if the radar was on. There's Chance again. Played a lot of football in England. Sliding it through here for Gilnick, who's onside, and that's good closing down by Allgill in the heart of defence.
Brisbane quality really starting to kick into gear. Really a Chance, wonderful player, turned beautifully, drove with purpose through the midfield. Next to her, Izzy Dalton, been around the traps as well. Played a lot of football, Izzy, in the top leagues in England. Very powerful midfield for Brisbane Roar. The two best midfields in the comp. We'll be going head-to-head on the weekend, Sydney v Brisbane. I know Brisbane, it's our luxury to be able to look forward to that game, not Brisbane's.
Yeah.
But really and truly, the weekend of W-League action, Sydney v Brisbane, is going to be one to watch. And thankfully, the Wanderers are making this one to watch as well. They've started well. Been a tough season so far for them, the Red and Blacks. They've played some very constructive football here.
Hunter again, turning away from trouble and looking for that outlet that is Collister. Just overhit, but don't they find voice, the Hunter clan, in the grandstand here at Marconi Stadium. Right behind you, Victoria Slater.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a cheer squad behind me. Pretty much all of her school friends have come out to cheer her on tonight. Great to see.
I'm just getting a small taste of what's it like at the indoor swimming pools for the IGSA Swimming Championships.
Actually chatted to Sarah about an hour and a half before kickoff, and she said her cousin, Daniel Alessi, might come along and cheer her on tonight. Played for the Wanderers as a 16-year-old, head-to-head with Alessandro Del Piero in a Sydney derby, so there's some pedigree in the family.
He was a breakout player as a youngster, and then moved to Newcastle, by my recollection, and then injured his knee.
A little bit of football over in Italy as well, but of course COVID put pay to that in the lower leagues.
Look at that from Chance. Great composure. Wonderful comfort on the ball. Just to settle things down and boss possession. Really good player, Olivia Chance.
Everton, Bristol City and Sheffield United, the clubs that she turned out for in the UK.
Another US college graduate too, don't forget that, Speedy. I think it was South Florida.
You think?
Well,
normally you're onto those.
Well, let me say,
not second guessing yourself on colleges.
There's so many of them going through the head, Speed.
Still one of the great calls in the grand final last year about the Appalachian State mountaineer Harrison Delbridge going back to base camp when his goal was ruled out. One of your best halves.
Got a fan club of one in you, Speed. Missing him actually in the A-League. Really enjoyed watching Harrison play. Nothing City could do with him at the moment.
Haven't filled that void.
Although, you know, Raish made a very good start in a losing team on the weekend.
So much football coming your way. For all the football fans watching Fox Sports each and every night of the week at the moment, and the A-League kicks back in tomorrow night. Nice. Hunter again, so strong on the ball, so confident in her technique to maintain possession for her side. Karmas getting front position on Polkinghorne. Good battle between those two veterans. Went to the World Cup together in 2011. Here's a sloppy turnover straight to Karmas. What can she do with it? She's all alone here, Julianne Russell, and Karmas got a little excited.
In the autumn of her career, Lena Karmas was playing almost as well as ever. Beautiful little change of direction, and just love the purpose behind it. I've made the space, I'm shooting. And I'd say there's more goals in Lena Karmas certainly before this season finishes, but she, Tara Andrews, Michelle Heyman, three fantastic targets as centre forwards in the W League. Young girls tuning in for the competition and eyeing off a centre forward position. You want to watch any of those three girls, the way they're able to protect the ball, turn and roll defenders, and importantly score goals. All three of them doing a great job.
Lovely pass from Fryer, allowed Gilnick to roll Cooper, and Liv Chance, left foot strike. Pretty handy. Willisey was watching and happy to see it sail.
And right on cue was wonderful centre forwards play by Gilnick. And she's such an imposing physique, and she's got a lot of quality as well, and held off the defenders, set it up for Liv Chance. It's a good shot. Willisey in the Wanderers goal never really threatened, but it was a good sided goal from the Kiwi.
Nice distribution from Willisey. When I spoke to her in pre-season, that was the first thing that she mentioned about her strengths. It was a lovely ball fired out to Yeomandale, and now Hunter utilising Copus Brown. And Matos able to push on down that right-hand side. Good read by Rankin that time, trying to thwart the threat of Collister.
Can confirm, Brenton. Olivia Chance, University of South Florida Bull.
The Bulls, eh? Good cutback towards the penalty spot, just getting away from Russell, the Irish international. She's been flying to and from Sydney to play for Ireland for the past 3 years or so. After moving out here with her company Microsoft. International transfer from Dublin to Sydney with that company. And when everyone started working from home last year, that certainly freed things up on that front and allowed her to get back into the W League mix. And the Wanderers came calling for her services. Here's a free kick earned by the Roar in a pretty handy spot.
Rankin was brought down. It might be her to take the free kick. Copus Brown asked the question, what exactly went wrong there? Referee Izzy Dalton steps over. This will be an in-swinger towards Sarah Willisey. There'll be players bearing down on her. Polkinghorne, Carroll, Gilnick.
Polkinghorne is the deepest runner. Yeomandale will be outsized, and Polkinghorne saying, give me the decent deep delivery here. I'm a big show. Dalton didn't quite get it there and was flicked on by Gilnick, and Polkinghorne had given up the chase, and she knows it. She kept on going with her run. She may have got on the end of things.
Maybe. It's a chance. Good one for Brisbane. Marking not as tight as it might be from the Wanderers.
We saw Polkinghorne there left alone in space. So that's obviously what assistant coaches say now in world football, that you leave the deepest runner and you pick them up later. How do you look on that as a coach?
It depends on the player you're talking about. So the theory there, Brenton, in this case defensively, Georgia Yeomandale was tucking in with the other defenders to provide that extra cover. But I've sort of got the inclination, if it's someone like Claire Polkinghorne, I'm going to go and stand on her and not give her a free run to attack the ball. It would be a personal thing, because she is out of the ordinary, Claire Polkinghorne, as far as her ability to win headers.
Scorer of 15 W League goals, and also double figures for her country.
And he's been in exceptional form this W League campaign as well.
Hecker. Handball, edge of the area, and penalty has been given. Quick chat between referee and assistant. And Yeomandale, who appeared to have the hand by her side, ball flicked up into that hand, and the spot kick is given.
There's no VAR in the W League. To decide can this be overturned. She's got no opportunity to move that hand out the way.
Emily Gilnick is the beneficiary. Thumped one past Willisey already. Emily Gilnick sends the keeper the wrong way, and we've got joint leaders in the Golden Boot race now. Emily Gilnick with a brace already, and Brisbane have come from behind 32 minutes in.
That good penalty. She was very, very good from the spot. And I just don't like the interpretation of the rule nowadays. Yeomandale's hand wasn't going to the ball. It was not even a reflex. She's just there defending. It's kicked into her hand. And the officials now have to give that as a penalty, and it's certain change in the direction of the way the game's going. Broadly, great finish from Gilnick. Very, very good from the spot.
Had 35 shots coming into tonight in this W League season for 4 goals. And just a couple tonight for 2 goals. Emily Gilnick, and getting sharper and sharper as this season goes on. Spent that time at Bayern Munich and didn't get a lot of game time, so rust inevitably sets in.
Yep.
Now playing week in, week out with Brisbane. 2 games coming up this weekend. A long weekend for the Roar down here in Sydney. Nice ball from Orgill. Space for Collister. Looking around, just on you go, Tegan. Waited for the Brisbane defenders to get that goal side. Looks like she's battling a little fatigue-wise as Gilnick goes the other way and tried to make her hat-trick a spectacular one. Have been 3 hat-tricks in this fixture. Kristen Hamilton last year, the American import for the Wanderers. Yallop, she scored one a few years ago now, and Katrina Gorry, another hat-trick scorer. Gilnick looking to become the 4th. And she's alongside Heyman now. That's going to be a fascinating battle over the back half of the season. Who can collect that golden boot? Gilnick again. Sharp turn. Hecker. Waited for Heatley to come. Picked out a better option in the box. And Yallop charged down by Cooper and kept in by Yeomandale. And Yallop sliced it well wide in the end under pressure from Hunter.
It's a little bit ragged, the Wanderers defending. And once again, just overcommitting. The ball came out to the right-hand side. And the first defender just slightly overcommitting and allowing the ball to be played in behind her and through to the strikers. And it was scramble time thereafter for the Wanderers.
Sun setting in the distance, and it is being welcomed by the viewers on this side of the pitch. Andy Harper.
At least two of them. I feel like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. I can see.
Kept in here by the Wanderers. Matos did well. Hunter right in front of her fans. Not sure if her fan group rivals what Andy Harper used to play in front of here, but it may just do. Do you have a fan club here at Marconi? Perhaps?
You'd have to ask them, Benson, but I had a lot of fun playing here. This was the Palace. Well, it still is, but certainly in NSL days. Joint used to jump in big derby days. Some of Australia's, a collection of Australia's greatest ever footballers called this place home, including, well, he was one of Italy's greatest, Christian Vieri. Read that yarn about him this week released. His dad was brought from Bologna to come and play in the NSL for Marconi. The family comes, a young Christian Vieri as a 4-year-old or something.
Hollister's getting there here. And Karmas will let it roll for a corner. Finish off that story.
Good recovery. And so Christian Vieri, who goes on to conquer the world of football, one of the best Italian strikers, 2 World Cups, Italian leagues, big transfers, world record transfers. His formative years with the western suburbs of Sydney playing cricket. He wanted to grow up and take on Viv Richards, be a modern-day Chris Gale.
Now his wife can't believe he's watching this silly game from down under. Here's the corner, delivered towards the penalty spot. Up goes Karmas. And they asked for a handball there. There's no VAR, as we talked about earlier, so there'll be no replays being viewed, but we can still have a look. Casey Rydell talking it over with her assistants about what they saw.
It's a great leap from Karmas. That's beyond doubt.
Hunter lifting one in. Collister won't give up the chase here. But, couldn't beat the ball.
They keep persevering, the Wanderers, as they should. There's real mileage to be made out of that. Jamila Rankin has been excellent in trying to defuse it. And Heffernan, flanked by Catherine Connolly, a fine player in her own right and a major identity around this part of the world as well, in a football sense, Catherine Connolly.
Michael Beecham, another member of the backroom staff, the Wanderers' inaugural captain,
whose senior career also kicked off here at Marconi. Ante Kovic was a goalkeeper here at Marconi.
and reminisce. And
I did go for a bit of a memory lane stroll through under the grandstand, visit the dressing rooms beforehand. Got a bit misty-eyed, Speedy.
I understand why. Matos is in up for the fight on that side. The CEO, John Satsimas, what you got? Aquino calling Polkinghorne out of it. Yallop went down. Rybelt looking for the advantage to accrue, and it did for Sian Fryer. Yallop now back to her feet. He does roam around in the attacking third for Brisbane. Trying to win a corner there. Or whip it in towards Gilnick. Did neither.
She's still looking very sharp, Tamaki Yallop. Missed the start of the season, first few games with an injury, which is evidently overcome, and she's moving so well. It's Tamika Yallop. So too Emily Gilnick, of course, with the 2 goals for Brisbane, which have given them the lead here.
There's Jake Goodship, coach of the Roar, undefeated this season. Under a little bit of pressure when they weren't winning games at the start of the campaign, but they weren't losing them either. And the 6-0 win over the Victories showed their immense potential. Backed it up with a 3-2 win over Melbourne City. That was a thrilling game. And have worked their way back from an early deficit here to take the lead. Orgill. Rankin knows the ball is going to be coming her way more often than not. That battle with Collister. Chance being held up illegally by Copus Brown. Chance has had enough of the treatment, thinking a yellow card could be worthwhile. On the way, said Liv Chance. And they tried to reverse it, but Dalton had already gone. Yallop then pops up as the 6 as cover. It's amazing. Tamika Yallop's football brain, she knows every role on the pitch. She's played so many of them, and she'll slot in where cover is needed.
Well, importantly, she's still got the body that can react to the quick thinking. Sharp as ever.
She became a mum last August when her wife, Kirsty Yallop, gave birth to young Harley, and Katrina Gorry now due in August as well. Away by Polkinghorne. Brisbane had the numbers. Chance so tidy in possession. So Yallop again. Showed too much to Collister that time. Potential of a break here. Gilnick the furthest forward. Clever play by Hecker. Now Dalton. And Yallop can open up the pitch. Could have gone towards Fryer.
Yeah, Fryer's been one player a little bit underutilised by Brisbane, I think. Everyone else has had plenty of touches.
Armandale able to keep Hecker in check again.
Sean Fryer's another really wonderful left foot, good attacking instincts, beautiful dribbler of the ball. Been underutilised, I'd say, from a Brisbane viewpoint. It's the one part of the field they haven't really looked to exploit.
Hunter then left one in on Rankin, but the advantage did accrue. Great refereeing. And now on the follow-up, Yallop, shot deflected, and Willisey screaming for it. Out of play off Karmas, who scored tonight's opening goal. Great celebrations for the Wanderers, but they were unable to hold on to that lead and now trail, approaching half-time. Only 4 points to their name after the opening 6 games. 1 win, 1 draw, 4 defeats. They need to start getting the wins going if they want to threaten that top 4. Only Perth below them. Perth have only played 3 games so far. Very young season for the Glory. We'll be catching up at some stage. Rankin, good looking shape on it. Willisey and Cooper got in a bit of a muddle. Bolkinghorn left it behind for Russell. And now Karmas is making a nice run through the middle. And Collis to find her. Looking for Karmas. Out comes Middleton on the follow-up. Couldn't quite bring it down in time. The Wanderers half a chance to make it 2-2 there.
Great football, the Wanderers. I reckon Dean Heffernan would be sitting back saying, and gratified by the way they've attacked this. And that was what they would have talked about. Russell carried the ball beautifully through midfield. Found Collister, who was dynamic down the right. Lovely ball into the box. And we were not able to clear. And Middleton going very, very close.
Still looking for her first W League goal. Appearance number 10 for the product from the Southern Highlands in New South Wales. Joined the club as a train-on player and impressed Dean Heffernan to be a regular now. Spotted playing for the Illawarra Stingrays. Deft touch from Liv Chance. Yallop trying to slide it through for Fryer. A little careless that pass from Dalton. One back though by Rankin. Superbly well done. And that's Middleton chopping down Yallop and copping a yellow card.
Strong play by Jamila Rankin.
Emily Gilnick is very interested in this free kick here. Once Yallop is attended to, there'll be some way to secure her hat-trick. She's got company there at the moment. I wonder whether Gilnick will take it. She's now scored 35 goals for Brisbane. So she's equal 8th on the all-time charts for most goals for a team, with Kaya Simon keeping good company there. Kaya scored 35 in Sydney FC colours. And on the all-time list, she's joined Tara Andrews on 39 W League goals. They're tied for 9th now, all-time. She's got designs on number 40 right now. It'll just about be the final action of the first half. Continuing the theme of Australian football right now. Very entertaining football to watch on television sets right around the country and around the world. Anyone tuning into A-League or W League, loving what they're seeing. What can Gilnick do with the free kick opportunity? Placing it, and Willisey could afford the fumble. Decent goalkeeping. And that'll do us. The halftime whistle sounds. The Wanderers in front so early. Well taken goal from Lena Karmas, but then Emily Gilnick went to work, blasting home the equaliser and then stepping up to the spot to convert Brisbane's second. So they're on track for 3 wins in a row. The Wanderers have to play catch-up. It's Brisbane 2, Western Sydney 1 at the break. Let's go down to Victoria Slater.
Yeah, Sarah, tough first half. What did you make of it?
Yeah, tough first half. Just need to get stuck in a bit more personally. Yeah, just get our passes, connect them. Just make sure we're on their toes. Yeah, just match their physicality.
Yeah, anything else need to change? Just passing?
Yeah, just stick our passes, I think.